everyone, this is Chris, and today I'm going to be doing another Town of Salem video. It's part of our little Tyrants in Salem thing. If you haven't, make sure to go and check out the comic below in the description bar and the YouTube thing. Now I'm going to be starting the game off again with the character selection screen. As always, we're going to put Goku down as our name. Let's see. Now let's see what we get for the role. We got the Godfather. Now the Godfather is really powerful in the role. You basically take the role as the leader of the organized crime on the Mafia team. Unlike the previous game where we had the transporter role, the Godfather works more in sort of like a passive capacity. So the real key to winning as a Godfather is just not doing anything. If you have an aggressive role, such as like the sheriff or the investigator, you can actually go out and actually find who the killer is on, the first or second night. But when you get a role like, say, the Godfather, your basically plan is to avoid suspicion. So when playing as the bad guys or as the Godfather roles, it's basically to be as little as possible. Comment not very much. Just altogether avoid a lot of the basic interaction stuff to keep the attention off of yourself. You also have full night immunity, so if anyone tries to kill you at night, you basically can't be killed. And if you go and you try to kill someone, if someone sees you commit the murder, they don't actually see you doing it. Instead, they see the mafioso role, who then goes out and kills people for you. You also have the advantage of having a night chat. So basically, you can talk with other members of the mafia team at night, which is a unique function for the mafia side. Now, the veteran is a very powerful town role. If someone's a veteran, they can basically kill either like the serial killer or the Godfather role. Like if you were to go to attack them, the veteran can basically take them out. In that situation, the veteran actually took out the investigator, which is basically it's really good for me. As being a bad guy, I want as many town members to kill each other as possible. Now they're trying to kill me, huh? Funny. The best part as like playing as the Godfather role or playing as the Mafia in general is to basically just avoid suspicion. So you always want to try to put it on someone else. You always want to try to act like you're just some nobody. Now, claiming as a doctor is actually a really bad play in the game, because if an investigator was going to investigate someone, they would show up as either the doctor or the serial killer. Whew, it's close. One more vote and they would have got me. Shit. Now, also on the team is the mafioso, which is sort of like the strong man of the mafia, who goes out and kills who the Godfather tells him to kill. And the other role is a role called the framer. Now, what the framer can do is that there's an investigator or a sheriff that have the ability to go and inspect someone. They basically will always come up with the impression that this person is mafia or a killing role. So if you're a framer, you can go out and trick the investigator role. Also, if you are the framer, you can go and act like basically you were framed and that someone is framing you as sort of like a defensive play. So there's a lot of stuff you can do on the Mafia team. So I went out and took out the the most problematic people in the team. That way you can have less people trying to come at you when you're like the Godfather. But as long as I sort of avoid suspicion for the most part, I should win, as most of the time the Mafia actually ends up winning. A big problem with this game is that it's when you get a random assortment of players, it's very likely that you'll end up getting people who aren't the brightest, and that's sort of like the real sort of the struggle of the game is when you go in there with a bunch of people who, they're not really that smart, and you basically have to convince them to go and to kill the bad guys, and like it's pretty comedic sometimes because very rarely will you be able to convince the group of idiots that you're in the town with to go and to kill the bad guys, even if it's like painfully obvious how who the actual bad guys actually are. Now, as it goes on and on, it gets basically better for me because it's basically a matter of group numbers. See, the town is the largest majority when it comes to just number of members, and as Mafia, you only have the three of us. So as the game goes on, more and more, the less town there are and the more Mafia members are, the power dynamic will change to a situation to where we'll actually have the majority towards the end of the game. Serial killers putting in work. We end up losing our framer though. That's not real good. But we still have two Mafia members on our side of the team, so it's pretty good from our standpoint. Honestly, it's a pretty even game at this point. It can pretty much go any way. Let's see. Because I can talk to my little Mafia friend. On the advanced modes of this game, there's a role called the Spy that can actually hear when you whisper to someone. But on the basic modes of the game, it's pretty easy to just work with one of the basic roles. and got him out of the game. Because me and my Mafia partner both voted innocent. Whenever the goal of the Jester character is to basically get themselves hung. And after they get themselves hung, they not only do they win the game, but then they get to go and pick one of the guilty players and then take them out of the game. The only way to really avoid the Jester hangings is to vote innocent. Because when you vote innocent, then the Jester can't target you for the murder. I mean, we played this game really good. I mean, there's only a few members of town left. There's still a serial killer out there. But yeah, we played this game just marvelously. I mean, it was a little bit rough in the start because they were kind of looking at me a little bit, but we surely got past that because we just went and killed them all. This has been a pretty excellent game. I really do prefer the more aggressive roles in which you can actually go and do more. But when you're working as the Godfather, it's mostly sort of working from like a team aspect. Ah, fuck. Now there went my partner. So at this point, it's sort of like it's basically rock, paper, scissors between me, the serial killer, and the last remaining member of the town. The last remaining member of the town doesn't have any chance of winning. And if I have to go 1v1 versus a serial killer, the serial killer will end up winning. So, yeah, this is a pretty close game right now. Oh, that's fucking great. So, earlier in the game when we attacked the serial killer, we were basically able to find out who he was. The serial killer has night immunity, so if anyone tries to attack him, he basically can't die. So the Godfather and serial killer basically can't die in a actual fight, but unless they both attack each other, in which case the serial killer will actually win. So the serial killer is trying to claim the medium role. See, this is actually really bad for me, because if we vote up, because I actually need the other player to actually take out the serial killer in this situation. That bastard. Now he's going to try to put me up, so looks like the serial killer won this round. Still, it's a pretty good game up to the last point. Like I said, the serial killer didn't take out my partner last night. It would basically be a unanimous win for Mafia. Because that way we'd have the votes to lynch up But yeah, it was almost a Mafia win. It's almost. Ooh, shit. So at this point, he's playing mind games. Because if we make the lynch here, then basically I win the game. There's a lot of like mind game stuff that goes on when trying to like pull off a win here. Because no matter what, the town guy can't actually win the game. So it's either I win or the serial killer wins. But neither one of us would want to kill him, because if we go and we kill him, then we basically lose. Well, I would lose, at least. Just one. Sweet. So the real key to winning as sort of the evil roles in the game is to basically avoid suspicion, or sort of to do as least as you possibly can. That way, everyone will kill everyone else, and just the accusation phase. And all I have to do is now is kill the last remaining town role and win the game. Altogether, this was a pretty good game. I mean, it got a little bit rocky towards the end, but we pretty much just dominated early on. Took out a lot of key roles. I mean, there's not any... we didn't even lose anyone until halfway through the game. We even got the serial killer out and everything. And just like that, Mafia wins. Medium is always a shitty role in this game. But just like that, Mafia win. Got the mastermind, got all kinds of stuff. Anyway, thanks everyone for watching. Make sure to check the video description below and for Tyrant Comics merchandise. You got shirts. Make sure to subscribe and take care.